Oh, very far from that. It is not our idea to destroy Ukraine. Ukraine was a long time part of the Soviet Union. So what we are trying to do is to reduce military capabilities of Ukraine, because at some point in time it has become threatening to Russia, very threatening in fact.
But you are repeatedly attacking Ukraine's civilian infrastructure. Since May the 1st, you've attacked virtually every day or every night civilian infrastructure, power plants, energy installations, water facilities, dams. Why are you trying to destroy Ukraine?
Of course, can continue believing to this, but the whole idea and the whole point of that is to reduce, as I have said, command, control, communication systems in Ukraine, just to reduce its potential.
But these are civilian facilities.
Threatening. It is not civilian facilities.
Because the dam was destroyed by Russian forces.
The dam, you mean Kakhovka dam?
Yeah.
This is funny, really. It is, if you're interested really what has happened, I can tell you. During a year, Ukrainian army has launched 33 counts of missiles attack by HIMARS on the Kakhovka dam, and most of them were very damaging, very serious. If you are interested, I have specially prepared it in English. This is a list of strikes. It has 33 counts. About 300 missiles during this time has been launched, and they attained Kakhovka dam. So finally,
but most experts say that missiles couldn't have caused the damage.
Most of those experts, they are sitting back in the rooms and just thinking out loud what they think. But these are facts.
But why would Ukraine want to destroy the dam? You are in control of the dam. You have the means to destroy that dam.
Yes, of course.
You have the motive to destroy that dam, and you have the opportunity to destroy that
It's a year ago, one of the major generals of Ukraine has said that they are going to blow up the dam to prevent a Russian offensive.
But just to my point of the damage to civilian infrastructure, isn't the truth that you are not winning the war, your war effort is failing, so what you can't take in Ukraine, you are, as Rishi Sunak says, destroying it. That is your policy, to destroy the civilian infrastructure of Ukraine.
This counteroffensive is bringing a lot of casualties and a lot of destruction to Ukrainian army.
Right.
Nearly 30% of Western equipment has been already eliminated from the scene.
What percentage?
25 to 30%
of Western equipment that's gone into Ukraine,
donated to Ukraine
is now destroyed?
Is now destroyed, exactly, yes it is.
Do you have evidence for that?
No, at least it was official figures from us. So we do have evidences.
The UK and the West has $350 billion in frozen Russian assets. Do you expect and do you accept that that will be used to rebuild Ukraine?
Interesting question. I know that United Kingdom is very experienced in robberies, theft of money from different countries, piracy. India has been robbed, Egypt, other countries as well. So, of course, it's another count of theft and robbery may be counted in this country.
No, these were assets frozen because of your invasion of Ukraine.
No,
it's not robbery.
The international law is saying that it is sovereign. That is, this money cannot be used by anyone. It is state money.
So Russia will not pay for any reparations at the end of the war?
Look at the logic of it. It is, everybody is saying that it is illegal.
Your defense minister says that if Ukraine attacks Crimea with US or British missiles, Russia would immediately attack what he called decision-making centers in Ukraine. Does that mean that you would attack President Zelensky and his government?
Well, he said what he has said. I'm not aware of his plans. I know that once they have really attacked an intelligence center in Ukraine, it is not far from Kyiv, it is on the river island. This has happened.
But you would attack members of the Ukraine government, you would attack President Zelensky.
If Ukraine is going to use UK-provided Storm Shadow long-term missile to Crimea, that's a part of Russia, so everything is possible.
Well, I mean, why shouldn't Ukraine attack Crimea, you say it's a part of Russia. It's internationally recognized as part of Ukraine. So why shouldn't Ukraine use British and US missiles in an attack on Crimea? You are using Iranian drones in repeated attacks on Kyiv.
No one has real evidence about Iranian drones.
Well, Sky News has seen arms contracts for Iranian weapons going to Russia. Isn't it true that you are buying and receiving large supplies of weapons from Iran? Is that not true?
I do appreciate Sky News information, but I have not ever seen any contract you're talking about.
Can we just talk about war crimes? It's alleged that Russia has committed 70,000 war crimes in Ukraine, all documented by many different countries, and also by the OSCE that you, I think, used to work for. Do you accept that that number of war crimes, that thousands of war crimes have been committed by your forces?
Of course not. Because the conflict, as I have said, it has started not a year ago, it has started in 2014, and since that time we have enormous number of crimes committed by Ukrainian forces against Russians and Russia.
In 2016, the OSCE, the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, reported on Ukrainian war crimes back in 2016, and they reported that there were serious war crimes by Ukrainian forces. Now, Russia accepted that. Now it is saying there are Russian war crimes. You're not accepting it. Why are you saying it's a lie when you accepted it when it was Ukrainian war crimes?
I don't give it any qualification. We are talking about different things.
We were reporting from Yehidny, this village in northern Ukraine, more than 300 people confined to a basement shelter for 28 days. 10 people died. There's going to be a war crimes trial with 15 Russian soldiers on trial.
If it will happen. So trials are going on both in Ukraine, trials are going on right now on Azov, people who belong to this Nazi battalion of Azov. It's going on in Donetsk. So what to compare? It's a conflict.
Why is your country and your president so frightened of political opposition within Russia?
I don't believe that we have an organized political opposition. We have some different figures that are pretending to be political opposition.
But you don't, because most of them are in prison. I mean, Alexei Navalny, poisoned first, now in prison, and could be sentenced for decades. Vladimir Karamurza, a British citizen, I should say, is in prison for 25 years, and he was just making speeches about corruption.
Vladimir Karamurza, he's a Russian citizen, and he
was
a British
judged,
citizen. But when he was on the Russian land, he is judged in accordance by the Russian court, in accordance with the Russian law, and he gets his sentence as a Russian citizen. He has committed a lot of crimes. I'm not going to say.
25 years in prison.
If I'm talking about Navalny, it's a different thing. I do not follow closely what is happening with him at the moment. He is serving his sentence. For committing criminal offenses.
But also, why are you so frightened of journalists operating in your country? Why is Evan Gershkovich of the Wall Street Journal? Why is he in prison?
He's in prison because he has spied for United States government. He was collecting information.
No, he was doing his job as a journalist.
Oh yes, of course, collecting information at the plant that is producing armament. That's the job of a journalist, of course.
Well, he is a journalist. I mean, he works for the Wall Street Journal. He's a bona fide journalist. Let's just talk about the broader picture. Why is President Putin so weak that he cannot tolerate political opposition or even journalists in his country?
You continue.
Free speech in his country.
You start to repeat your questions. This is not.
Well, I just wonder, because there's an
if
issue
you don't
with
have
free
any
speech.
other question,
Are you a threat to other Baltic states?
No.
So because you call Ukraine an illegitimate state, so does that mean that, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, Moldova, are they all illegitimate states as well?
At the moment, we have only one problem, and it is not with Ukraine, it is with the Ukrainian government, which has taken a very hard anti-Russian line And we have to resolve this problem because it is a root and cause of the conflict. And we have to resolve this small problem, I would say, and we have, that is all.
If it's such a small problem, why do you have to invade the country, a full-scale invasion?
There was no other way to do this.
Boris Johnson was a big supporter of Ukraine. Are you glad he's no longer on the political scene here?
His followers, they continue the same line. It is a militaristic line. The Rishi Sunak is continuing militaristic line. I never heard from him the word negotiations. I never heard from him the word that future belongs to European security, inclusive European security for all countries, not for NATO, but for all countries.
Just finally, Mr. Ambassador, are you fed up with having to defend what is very difficult to defend, the invasion and all the killing? Are you fed up with having to defend this?
I defend the policy of my president and of my government, and I truly believe that they know what they're doing.
You're paid to defend it. Do you really believe that you should be defending it?
You are paid to ask this a bit silly question. Forgive me for being sincere.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, good.